Your city, your news. From the campus of the University of Nebraska at Omaha, this is the Omaha News. Brought to you by the students in the College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
It has been 8 days since Senator Barack Obama was elected as the 44th President of the United States. After nearly 2 years of presidential campaigning, a look at what's in store for the next 4 years.
And it's that time of year when giving is needed the most. As the holidays approach, one organization isn't asking for your money or your canned goods, just that you come and shop for what you need. Good afternoon, I'm Adam Rosen.
And thanks for joining us today. I'm Danielle Sherman. As president-elect, Obama held his first press conference Friday, and on Saturday he delivered his first radio address, focusing on the challenges facing our economy. Jessica Bernal reports on what UNO students think as they prepare for change.
As President-elect Obama prepares to take the presidency, UNO students participate in an open discussion forum.
Students come into the room, they can go and sit at a table that has a topic of interest to them. The tables do have moderators who make sure that we stay on discussion and have some material for the students to read.
This gave students the opportunity
to talk about what their thoughts are about the immediate post-election period, to pick a topic that was interesting to them.
Students discussed his top priorities such as the economy, energy, healthcare, foreign policy, and education. Among other issues, Obama has made withdrawal from the war a key focus on his foreign policy.
We were discussing the foreign policy and future plans about Pakistan, that we have to deal with Osama bin Laden.
As the Obama administration prepares to take power in January, Americans are expecting him to deliver on his promise on change and getting America's economy back on track.
We all have a lot of expectations.
He wants to bring change so far that we've seen him and he's already working on it.
During Obama's first news conference, he said he recognizes the obstacles to getting the economy back on track, but said he plans several short-term actions to help. For the Omaha News, I'm Jessica Bernal.
In a little over 2 months, President-elect Obama will take his first oath of office in Washington, D.C. He will work with the Democratic majority in the Senate and Congress. Obama has sent more than 450 members of his transition team to evaluate the White House and develop new policies for his administration.
Multiple events around the state recognize those who have served in the nation's armed forces. The country celebrated Veterans Day yesterday.
The day is an opportunity for many of us to thank those we know for their service. Though several outdoor ceremonies were canceled due to the weather, Benson High School's JROTC was able to honor several veterans and their families. Maureen Kaufman is live in the newsroom with more. Maureen?
Thanks, Adam and Danielle. When we think of Veterans Day, most people imagine a holiday. For one local couple, it's not only remembering those that have fallen, but it's a time to reflect on all the good times they've shared together.
Retirement homes have a reputation for housing interesting characters under their roofs. Benson High School's JROTC students were able to show their support for this group of veterans.
We did a color guard and a saber team. We presented our honor guard, and we stood up there in front of everyone and we presented the colors, and then we gave all the veterans that are here today that have served in the country for the wars, and we presented them with a flag and a little pin to go on their clothing and hat.
The Life Care Center of Omaha has brought many veterans from across the Midwest. It's events like this that help people remember special memories and loved ones.
We were married right after World War II, and we celebrated our 62nd anniversary in June. Spent many happy years together. We were blessed with 2 children, and we have 8 grandchildren. I just feel badly that he has to be here and I have to be at our home, but I come over every day, twice a day, to feed him and be with him. He's the love of my life. I wouldn't have it any other way. He's been a good husband, wonderful father. He went through a lot.
Keith Hudson served in the 304 General Hospital Unit for 4 years during World War II. Keith says he's very thankful for all the support that others have given him.
Thank you very much.
Veterans Day has seen 5 changes from from President Wilson in 1919 to President Ford in 1975. Ford signed a proclamation which brought back the holiday to November 11th. Reporting live for the Omaha News, I'm Maureen Kaufman.
Thanks, Maureen. Another holiday season is upon us. The Salvation Army has bell ringers out already. The Open Door Mission is asking for food donations. All the while, people are rushing out to buy gifts. However, Goodwill International here in Omaha is more concerned about the gifts they will give rather than the gifts they will receive. The start of Nebraska's winter usually brings two things: cold weather and warm hearts during the holiday season.
Basically, our year really starts kicking around Halloween, because everything that comes here goes right back into the community. Thanksgiving, it would be the same thing. The holiday time, people always need extra furniture, plates, silverware, dishes, folding chairs, anything like that, and get what you need.
While many other businesses will be focusing on profits during this time of economic crisis, many other businesses like Goodwill will be focusing on another aspect of the holiday season, that sometimes giving is more important than receiving.
For me, the best part about it, it's giving, and it's seeing happy people. Everything you do here is very important, because everything you do, you're helping someone that you don't know help themselves. What a greater gift. We have PlayStations, we have Game Boys, we have Nintendos. Some of them are a little on the rough side, but most of them are some of the latest things. What a great gift for a kid at Christmas. They would love that. The best part about it is, usually at Christmas time, a lot of families out there cannot afford new clothes for their kids or their other family members, toys, shoes, all those things. We have all those things here, and you're paying pennies compared to what you would at another retail location. But we help so many people in so many areas, with employment, and that's what we are. That's our mission. That's our goal.
The Goodwill is always accepting donations at any of their stores in Omaha.
The Salvation Army will kick off its Tree of Lights campaign this Friday. The tree is already up on the corner of 90th and Dodge. More than 450 starbursts and 40,000 LED lights will shine on the intersection there. When its fundraising goal is met, a 5-foot star will flash. The event begins at 5:30 p.m. and local singer Heidi Joy will perform. In the often quoted words of Madonna, we are living in a material world, though most of that material seems to be purchased with credit nowadays.
Up next, where to find advice on managing your money and staying debt-free. It's all a part of Nebraska's Smart Money Week.
UNO Television. Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry. Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV Crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV Crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Most local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on the Knowledge Network.
If your days get out of control, reset your attitude by setting your radio to KVNO, Classical 90.7. Discover your own personal oasis of serenity on KVNO, Classical 90.7. prostitution, hunger. Visit yesomaha.org and donate to Youth Emergency Services. Help take homeless kids off the streets before something else does.
Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson announced today that the government won't buy banks' troubled mortgage assets.
With that announcement, stocks fell more than 270 points, as well as 3 major indexes fell. And news that consumer spending will decrease has investors worried. This is the 3rd straight session that the numbers have fallen. The Dow Jones is down 411 points, S&P is down by almost 47 points, and the NASDAQ is down 82 points.
Times are tough and money is tight. Everyone is looking to hold on to his or her piece of the pie, but it's not so easy because debt adds up quickly. Mike Wilson shows us how you can keep more of your dollars in your wallet.
Our economy is in a time of great struggle, particularly for college students.
We're trying to help people at UNO, just be a little smarter with their money and be a little more financial literate.
Fortunately, there is help. It's Smart Money Week. Seminars are being offered by the Nebraska Financial Education Coalition to boost knowledge on monetary matters. Smart Money Week isn't limited to UNO or even the city of Omaha. In fact, a quick click over to smartmoneynebraska.org will reveal hundreds of events going on this week. And that's in the state. For some, fiscal responsibility takes on a much more personal role.
About 2 years ago, I was at a concert and my Social Security number was stolen at the concert. And since then, my ID was also stolen. Pretty much everything in my purse was stolen.
It's not uncommon for college students to rack up piles of debt before entering the workforce.
I think a lot of them accumulate debt without realizing it. So, before you know it, you got $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of debt, and then you're like, oh wow, I'm gonna have to pay that back plus interest, and how do I do that?
But there are simple practices to make the burden manageable or even non-existent.
I think one of the best tips we gave was spend less than you earn. If you can't afford it, don't get it.
If you are living paycheck to paycheck, like many college students are, maybe just say, I'm gonna save $20. And although $20 doesn't seem like a lot, in 20 years, it'll be a lot more.
For the Omaha News, I'm Mike Wilson.
The website mavmoney.com is just a part of the special events this week. The site was started by UNO students, and while much of the information is geared towards college students, there are also plenty of financial tips that apply to everyone.
For some people, credit cards are the greatest gift. Why pay now when you can pay later? But for most, a credit card is the beginning of a never-ending struggle, and the University of Nebraska at Omaha is doing all it can to make sure that struggle is something their students never have to experience. Another part of Smart Money Week, full of workshops, seminars, and events to help you manage your money. The University of Nebraska at Omaha held a presentation titled Maxed Out to help students be more aware of the financial responsibility and the dangers of having a credit card. So exactly what were the intentions of this movie?
To try to make them a little bit more aware of the dangers that are out there with credit cards. They're kind of innocuous at this point, but this movie really points out specifically what kind of issues can occur.
Credit card fees have gone up 160% over the last 5 years. The average American household has more than $9,000 in credit card debt and spends more than $1,300 a year in interest payments.
But Mr. Money, doesn't it cost more to buy things on credit?
Oh, yes, it does, Judy.
The best things in life are free.
The credit card companies keep flooding our mailboxes with 4 billion offers a year.
And how are some students avoiding thousands of dollars in credit card debt?
I just read the, in the lines on the credit card statements, you're supposed to pay, every so often, like once a month, or when it tells you need to pay. And I pay it all in full every month.
And how do students feel about that?
I think in general it's probably more fair that they don't, only because if you're not responsible with a credit card, it's only going to eat at you later, and it's a big responsibility in the end.
We have this much coming in, we have this much going out, and we are in financial trouble.
Hello? Nice to be here. How are you doing? Good. Good. Nice to be here. I'm broke. Anybody else broke?
The best advice in managing your credit is to pay off your balance at the end of every month. and set aside time every month to focus on your finances.
Now to the national news summary. The Supreme Court ruled today that military training trumps protecting whales. The High Court ruled against environmentalists who wanted to stop the Navy from using sonar off the coast of Southern California. Chief Justice John Roberts said that the public interest in conducting training exercises with active sonar plainly outweighs the concerns voiced by environmentalists.
And a report released today by the March of Dimes gives the U.S. a D when grading premature birth rates. 18 states, including Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia, received failing grades. The group released the report in an effort to draw attention to a rising premature birth rate. More than 500,000 premature births occur each year in the U.S. The March of Dimes hopes to get more federal support for premature research and education programs.
And a week after a failed bid for the White House, Senator John McCain made his first public appearance tonight on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Senator McCain poked fun at himself, saying he's been sleeping like a baby since the election. He joked that he wakes up every 2 hours, cries, and then goes back to sleep. Alaska Governor Sarah Palin has also been making public appearances as rumors continue to circle about her political future. Well, the UNO football team made it to the playoffs. This is the fourth season the Mavs have earned a playoff bid.
But will this be the year they end their second-round curse? That story next on the Omaha News.
Hello, Mav fans. I'm Tori Pantalian. Join me each month to catch all the news on all the sports at UNO. Watch Maverick Sports right here on the Knowledge Network.
Take a look at UNO and you'll find a school that can pretty much be everything to everyone. We have that big city feel and a sense of community that creates a close, friendly campus. Our professors and resources contribute to our great reputation in the city and the region. So whether you're just starting out, transferring, earning a degree online, or choosing a new path in life, you'll be able to find what you want.
The UNO Mavericks football team is not done yet. The team continues to fight to keep its season alive, coming off a big road win on Saturday against Washburn University. Mike Nanfito continues our coverage.
The UNO Maverick football team earned themselves a spot in the playoffs after their win over Washburn University on Saturday. The Mavericks defeated the Ichabods 34-14 at Washburn's Yeager Stadium.
Zach Miller had a great game as our quarterback. Brian McNeil had an excellent game as a running back. Our offensive line, we rushed for over 400 yards in that game, which, we haven't done that in something like 29 games.
Quarterback Zach Miller had a career-high 239 yards on the ground, including this 76-yard run to pay dirt. Miller finished the day with 4 touchdowns and breaking the 1,000-yard mark for rushing and passing on the season, the first time he's accomplished this feat in his career. The defense also showed up to play on Saturday, recovering 4 fumbles on the day. Head coach Pat Burns feels the team's effort on both sides of the ball really made the difference.
Fortunately, we saved the best for last. I think we played pretty good football on both sides of the ball and did some good things on defense and special teams and so forth. That's the first time that we've got the amount of turnovers that we've had, and obviously that makes a difference when you get them, especially in the red zone.
The Mavericks began their preparation for the playoffs on a cold and rainy day Monday. The announcement came live on ESPN Radio Sunday afternoon. And Zach Miller feels that this is a second chance for UNO to really show what they're made of.
It's a new life. I think, we've been through some things throughout the regular season, and, to keep on fighting and the resiliency that we've had all season, it's a blessing, if you want to call it that, to get the chance to go to the postseason and try and make a run at it.
The Mavs look ahead to the first round of the playoffs and aim to just keep playing the way they have been in recent weeks.
We're not going to do much different. We're going to try to run the ball. We've got to try to contain their run a little bit better than what we did the last time we were there.
Just manage the offense, stay within our framework of what we can do, and can't go out and make plays outside of my ability. Just stay within my abilities and, in key situations, keep the chains moving and put points up on the board.
The Mavericks finished their regular season with a 7-3 record, good enough to earn them their 4th consecutive playoff bid. 6th-seeded UNO will take on the 3rd seed of Pittsburgh State at Pittsburgh on Saturday, November 15th. Kickoff will be at 12 p.m., and the Mavs will look to keep their postseason dreams alive. For the Omaha News, I'm Mike Nanfito.
Should the Mavericks beat Pittsburgh State and Kansas, they will then go on to face the number 2 seed and major rival Northwest Missouri State in Super Regional 4 the following week.
If you can't make the road trip to Pittsburgh, Kansas for the playoffs, there are other Mavs sporting events here in the Metro. UNO hockey faces off Ferris State Friday, 7 p.m. at the Quest Center. UNO students can get a free bus ride to the game from the Bell Tower. The UNO women's swimming and diving team hosts Kansas this Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Hyper Pool. The Mavs are 3-3 overall and have yet to lose at home. And the UNO men's basketball season starts Saturday against Stone College at 4 p.m. at the Sapp Fieldhouse. An exhibition game last weekend against the Division I Iowa State Cyclones ended poorly for the Mavs, 54-74. All this information and other team schedules can be found online at omavs.com.
Books, journals, and microfilm. You can always go to the library to expand your mind, but that's not the kind of mind-expanding experience we're talking about. Next on the Omaha News, a trip back to the 60s. Stay tuned on the Knowledge Network.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Breathtaking. Electrifying. Inspiring. Award-winning documentaries produced by UNO Television offer you a window on the history of Omaha and the world. Beginning with the acclaimed 2-hour documentary on the history of Omaha, If These Walls Could Speak, UNO Television has developed a reputation for producing high-quality programs that explore, educate, and enlighten. These outstanding productions can be part of your home video collection. For information about purchasing VHS or DVD copies, call 554-2516 or visit our website at unotv.unomaha.edu.
Well, it's bright, it's weird, and it's on display through December. Aaron Cox guides us through a time when rock and roll ruled the world and a new wave of communication developed through the psychedelic experience.
Bright colors, hard drugs, free love, and lots of rock and roll.
Experience the psychedelic 60s without the use of a time machine. UNO's Chris Library's Technicolor Dreaming exhibit features.
It's psychedelic posters from the period from 1965 until about 1969.
During the time,
1965, LSD, for example, wasn't even a controlled substance. So there was definitely an influence of drugs on our society at that time. There were very many negative outcomes to that. There were also some positive outcomes in the terms of terrific music and art that went along with it.
On loan from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, concert and dance posters from such bands as the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, and
The Wailers
set the rock and roll soundtrack for the flourishing hippie community in San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury neighborhood.
Makes me happy that people actually recognize this as having been a part of counterculture, and I don't know, it's not some shuffled under the carpet part of history. Makes me appreciate the cultural movement in the 60s a lot more.
We don't want to have a mind-expanding experience like they did in the 60s, but a little bit of a mind stretch is a good thing. So if you can walk into the library and see something unexpected, something interesting, maybe it'll start a thought process that'll lead to something.
Psychedelic posters became the graphic extension of the psychedelic experience. The electrifying colors and hypnotizing patterns became the spirit of the time and place. For the Omaha News, I'm Aaron Cox.
Thursday at 7 p.m. in the Chris Library Cafe, Tom Rowland from the UNO Department of Music will lead a discussion on the music of the psychedelic era, as well as the connection between the youth and drug culture of that time. Join us again next week at 4 for more of the Omaha News. We'll take you on the start of the turkey season just in time for Thanksgiving.
From all of us here, thanks for watching the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network. Have a good evening.